paranormalwarehouse.com, social networking site for fans of the paranormal. Create a profile, upload video, audio, and photographic evidence. Make friends and comment on their findings. Join today for free at paranormalwarehouse.com.
Hi, this is Dave Roundtree, author of Paranormal Technology, Understanding the Science of Ghost Hunting, lecturer, author, and paranormal researcher. And when you're not busy in the field, do what I do and listen to the Malliard Report.
Hey everybody, it's the Malliard Report.
The Malliard. The opinions expressed on the Malliard Report are those of the host and participants and are not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any simulcasting radio network or sponsor. All listeners are advised to make their own decision.
That's right. Make your own decisions. Think smartly out there, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Malliard Report, however you may be listening and wherever you may be listening. If you're stuck listening to me in a car, I'm sorry if you got the next hour. So hopefully you get to your destination before the show's over. My guest tonight is Bill Dean. And I was just talking to him a few seconds off air, and I was going to introduce him, but I was just reading his tagline on his website. I'll read it to you now. Author, actor, speaker, media personality, radio show guest. Where should I start?
You're doing great there, brother. You're absolutely great with all that. And
did I miss anything?
Well, yeah, deliverance minister. Let's see, and what else here? Sort of like a life coach, and so I'm a man with many hats.
Many hats, but no sleep, as we were just talking about as well.
Not much sleep, that's for sure.
You go to bed at 4 a.m. every day?
Every morning, yep, absolutely.
I guess then the next question becomes the time you get up.
Well, it depends. You know, sometimes in between 8 and 9 o'clock, so I get a few hours.
Yeah, a few, just a few, not much.
But I'm used to it now. My body is used to it, Jim. You know, and I want to thank you so much for having me on. I've heard so many great things about your show and about you as well. So it's my honor and pleasure to be on with you, brother.
I'm not sure who's lying to you, but I'll take all the kind words I can get.
Oh, lots of people are talking good things about you, so you're doing something right.
Well, I hope so. But so where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the books or the acting, or where do we want to start? It's so broad out there.
I'm just a walking miracle. I truly am, and I can never thank God and praise God enough for what He has done for me. And people might say, "Oh, well, he's some Bible thumper or holy roller." Well, that's not true. These words are not empty. I speak the truth. God really has worked miracles in my life. He continues to do so. So I will forever give Him praise for what He has done for me. And, you know, these things began, and Jim, I've often said that I couldn't be where I'm at right now had I not experienced those things back then. So I wish I could go back and change some things. Absolutely, I do. You know, my family was destroyed by this stuff, and my mother suffered more than any other person I've ever known or seen in my life. So absolutely, I wish I could go back and change it, but I can't. So now I just do the best that I can do, and part of that, being a servant to God, is reaching out and helping people. So that is my calling in life. That is, I get great joy out of helping other people, and God has blessed me with a gift of deliverance, and I have gone to the homes of many people over the last several years around the country, helping those who are in need. I was actually called to a Baptist church 2 years ago in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I performed a deliverance cleansing blessing in a Baptist church. The pastor heard me on Coast to Coast Radio, said that he was compelled by God to contact me because he was in a situation that he felt that he couldn't handle. And he called me, we talked, we prayed, and the next thing I know, I was sent a plane ticket to go to Cape Cod, and that's what I did, and I went in and engaged in 5 or 6 hours of spiritual warfare in that church, casting demons out and breaking voodoo curses off of the the pastor and his family, and it was a very, very intense situation. Do I enjoy doing these things? Absolutely not. There are a million other things that I'd rather be doing. However, there's nothing that I'd rather be doing when it comes to helping people and helping people to break the chains of this kind of bondage. And when a person is under demonic oppression, that's the best way to equate it. They might as well be in shackles and chains.
Yeah, it fascinates me that I've often wondered about churches before, just a kind of curiosity because of all the spiritual energy that goes into them. Not just
Sure, no place is exempt from demonic infestation, and this is why it's so important. It's a big part of my message, Jim, is that each and every one of us, A, have to take this very seriously, and B, we have to be warriors in a sense to where we keep this garbage under our feet every day, because God, when He created us with a part of Him in each and every one of us. So when Yahweh did create the world and then He created man, He gave man dominion over the earth. And we know this is true because we have dominion over everything. So we know that part's true. So in saying that, we could not have dominion over the earth if we didn't have a part of God within each and every one of us. So when we realize this, we activate this great power that is within us. Yeshua, Jesus, alluded to this many, many times, saying that the power of heaven, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And He said this many times. This is what He was trying to say. We do have this power within us. We can activate it. And when we do, we become armed and dangerous against Satan and his minions. Satan cannot come and take our power from us. He robs us and he tricks us out of our power, and we give it over to him. So, again, a large part of the message is to build people in mind, body, and spirit, Jim. And, again, I'm just so grateful and thankful to be in the position that I'm in now because, as you know, and many others know as well, I've been on the other side of it. I was a victim. And my family was destroyed by this stuff. And, it all began, I say, my first book is called Dark Forest, and the second book is called Delivered, and I'm currently working on the third book, which is called 10 Steps to Victory. And in Dark Forest, I say that it all began in 1970 when my family and I moved into a 3-bedroom ranch-style home located in Glen Burnie, Maryland. But it actually goes much further back than that. I was told, after writing Dark Forest, I was told by a family member that... And people, I have very little family left, and the family members I have left, they just really didn't want to go there. They just were uncomfortable in bringing it all up again. But my uncle, sometime after writing Dark Forest, my mother's brother, actually did bring up a few things, and one of the things that he brought up was he was saying that they had supernatural paranormal experiences in their childhoods. My mother was the oldest of 3 children, and according to my uncle, they were experiencing these things. And I think it even goes further back than that. I was told that a family member many, many years ago had done something to conjure these negative forces, and that came upon my mother's side of the family and greatly created havoc in many untimely deaths and many bizarre situations and just horrific circumstances. And I believe that evil force actually led us, after my mom had met my dad in 56, they had met 55, got married in 56, and my sister was born in 57. I think that evil force actually led my parents to that house where evil was already present and manifest, because the area itself is very evil. Even to this day, I still get messages from people in the area telling me about the problems that they're having. I actually went to a home 2 years ago in the community of Herondale and, again, engaged in spiritual warfare in there. And so these things are still present and manifest and prevalent in the area. And my mom was the first to have an experience in the house. And I was 4 when we moved in, and my sister was 13, my brother was 1. I recall, my first recollections is the house just had a very ominous look and feel about it. I was frightened first time I saw it, it was frightening. And my sister said the same thing. The house was semi-dilapidated, and there was a old tool shed in the back that just looked like it was falling down, and my dad eventually did take it down. But it just gave you a very, very uncomfortable feeling. And inside as well, you know, my dad was a master carpenter. He saw this as a restoration project, which he did quite a bit of work to it, restoring it, making it look nice. But inside was equally ominous and foreboding. You know, you would walk in. The house was located at the bottom of a downhill cul-de-sac, a very large and long and deep ravine behind it. And you would walk in through the front door, and it was this dark brown paneling on the walls. It was just, the house was always very dark. You know, this paneling was almost black in color. And there was just a heaviness, just a heavy vibe, not a positive vibe at all. And like I said, my mom was the first to have an experience. Shortly after moving in, my dad had taken us with him to his parents' house for the day to allow my mother what she felt would be peace and quiet while she was unpacking and organizing. It was during the course of this that she felt the presence. She spun around thinking that it was my dad sneaking back into the house to play a joke on her. He had that type of sense of humor. And to her shock, you know, when she spun around, nothing was there. So she was taken aback by it. She was unnerved by it. But eventually able to collect herself and go back to doing what she was doing. And it wasn't long after that one of the bedroom doors slammed shut by itself, and that was enough to make her go outside and wait till we returned. So that's where it began, this feeling of presence and a door slamming, and it gradually escalated into violent physical attacks on us from these demonic entities, and it greatly contributed to the destruction of my family.
It's remarkable to think that some people take this and make it a joke or try to make a buck off of it. It disgusts me.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And take it from someone who lived it. I have zero interest in the ghost hunter shows and all that kind of stuff. I don't watch horror films. I have a lot of friends in the paranormal field, and I love them all. I love all people. I have nothing against anyone. But
oh, come on! You can tell me somebody that you don't particularly like. They're not listening anyway.
I try to love everybody. I do. I try to keep it even keel and just love, and I want to be there to help anybody and everybody. But yeah, I don't watch those kind of shows. I don't personally, you know, after living so many years of being under that kind of oppression, I would never fill myself with that kind of stuff again. You know, I want to fill myself with good things and positive things. And that's part of my message as well for people who are under demonic oppression. And when they become free from it, it's very important to have a different mindset, because I can cast demons out of people all day long. If they choose to stay in the same pattern and keep that door open, whatever it may be, that is allowing these things to come back, well, it's like trying to put a forest fire out with a garden hose. It's just not going to work. You'll be doing it and doing it and doing it, and to no avail. So there has to be a mindset change, and that's part of the transformation process. So when I go into a home like this, yeah, I'm going as a deliverance minister, and I'm going for battle. However, the first thing that I do, very first thing I do, is when I step onto the property, I pray. I say a prayer in Hebrew, and then I go into the house, assemble the family, and say another prayer. And I anoint their heads with oil, and then we sit down, and then I become a counselor, and we have to talk. And I have to get to the root of the problem. I need to know what is causing this. Once I've gotten to the root of the problem, then I can take action in casting this garbage out, and we shut and close and lock and chain and padlock the doors to Satan and his minions. And again, this is part of the transformation process. And Jim, I'll tell you, it's an amazing thing for someone to see, in the sense of the change that takes place when a person is willing to make that change. They know that they are in a bad way.